maximize the quality of your lens and your camera with these 2 tips. 1. Know your lens's minimum focus distance. Unless you're using a macro lens, a distance of about 3 feet is perfect for your lens and your camera to nail the focus. Now 2, remember, 2 to 3 full stops above your lowest aperture is the sweet spot for your lens to get the best quality image that it can possibly get. 2 to 3 full stops. So if you have like a 1.4 or 1.8, then anywhere between a 3.5 and a 5.6 is going to be chef's kiss. I promise you. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you. I hope you leave here with more tips and insights to any and all projects that you may be working on. My name is Antoine Banks Williams. I am an aspiring filmmaker. I am a lover of this craft with a deep respect for the journey. So today we are back with another video, and we are going to be talking about camera settings and what's the best settings to use when you are filming by yourself in manual. Now, before I go any further, I must tell you I am Team Sony. I am shooting this right here on my Sony FX6, which I've been working with for about 9 or 10 months. And I also have my Sony FX3, which I've been shooting with for about 2.5 years. Why is that important? That is important because you should know that I shoot in Cine EI, or log footage, which basically means my image in camera in the monitor is desaturated, is washed out, is grayed out, but it's also overexposed. I overexpose my image, so afterwards I can correct it when I'm putting all of the colors back in and I'm making that image look as dope as I possibly can, because hell, I'm doing it all myself. I made a video a few weeks ago. Somebody commented on the video and said I should try working with practical lights a little more. So my last video, I took their advice and I made a complete video only using practical lights, only using lamps and stuff that I had in my house. So my setup was different, the lighting was different. I just wanted to use everything that was at my disposal that I feel like everybody will have in their home, hopefully, is, you know, some lamps and just different little practical lights. And then in that video, I got this comment.
Camera settings, please. I get frustrated trying to get the specs right, but I'm determined to end my days of shooting everything automatic.
So once I received that comment, I immediately went to go check out her page, check out her content, and everything was dope. Everything was nice to me. But if there's anything I can do to help, that's what we're gonna do. Manual shooting. I'm encouraging folks to have some fun, take some risks, shoot something manually so you can get the exact quality and image that you're looking for. So here are 5 tips to help you shoot manually indoors during the daylight with no extra light. Tip number 1, set your ISO low or at its base. This is gonna reduce noise and it's gonna prepare you to have the cleanest image that you can possibly get. Tip number 2, set your shutter speed at 1/50. 1/50 is gonna give you natural motion blur. It's gonna feel as closest to the human eye in terms of frame rate and the speed of things. So like this little blur, naturally, like we see blur, and 1/50 is like the closest thing to that. Set it there. Tip number 3 is, where is it? White balance card. make sure you get you a white balance card. Properly white balance your image, because that is going to determine how accurate your colors are. You don't want your skin tones all off, or things looking super blue, or hell, even green, or just some weird color because it wasn't white balance right. Get you a white balance card. White balance your image manually. You got it. Tip number 4. If you have a camera and a lens where you can adjust the aperture or the f-stop, please set it at like anywhere between 3.5 and like 5.6. This is gonna give you enough space to where everything is in focus, not just the nose or one eye if they're turned off to the side, or the shoulder because it's the closest thing to the camera. It gives enough distance and room for error that the camera and the lens can have everything in focus. You want to make sure you nail your shot. Tip number 5. If you have a camera, which you do because you're here, set your lens to AF autofocus with face priority and eye priority. There should always be like a little box around the eye or box around the face. That lets you know that the camera is focused on that bad boy. That is where the money lies. But on a lighter note, if you have found anything useful about this video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I will be uploading much more of this stuff as soon as I possibly can. It is appreciated. You are appreciated. Thank you in advance to all of you kind folks out there in the YouTube world. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you so much. Next on our agenda for today's video is tips for shooting outside in the daylight with no lights. And tip number 1 is all of the above. Everything that we talked about, you apply inside during the day with no lights. Just do the same thing outside. But now you got tip number 2 for shooting outside in the daylight with no lights. And that is put more space between the subject and the background. Hell, put more space between the camera and the subject. If you are going to be shooting 3 feet inside from the camera, make it 5 or 10 feet. Everything will be in focus. The image is still going to be super sharp. And if it's 10, 15, 20, 50 feet from the subject and the background, whatever the background may be, you're going to get that much more of a creamy bokeh look, that nice, dope, dreamy feel that just feels super cinematic. Yes. Tip number 3 for shooting outside in the daylight with no additional light is this: ND filters. Yes. Utilize ND filters. ND filters are like bomb ass Gucci shades or Louis shades for your camera and your lens, right? With ND filters, it's like you can have your aperture up to a 1.4. Hell, some lenses got 1.2s now, so you can have your f-stop as wide open as it possibly can be, letting in all of the natural light it can possibly absorb and process, with shades on, so nothing will be overexposed, nothing to be blown out, and you get even more of a creamy, dreamy background feel. That, with a bunch of distance between the subject and the background, bro, what are we talking about? What are we doing? You're filmmakers doing applying this stuff like you're a filmmaker, man. Go make some films and win some awards and get into some film festivals and change the world, man. Like, you can do that. It's just that. It is literally just that simple. Making sure you know how to that your camera is at its lowest ISO or its base ISO to alleviate the excess noise, making sure your shutter speed is at the right place, white balancing so your colors is dope and it's on point, having your lens be anywhere between 3.5 to a 5.6 if you don't have ND filters. If you do, you got some flexibility. 5, what was 5? My thing went out. Oh, yes. 5 was set your lens to autofocus with face and eye detection. So if a person is moving and talking and doing all this extra stuff like we just can't help but to do, I'm one of those people. The camera stays locked on the face, and the face is always the thing in focus. We need that as solo filmmakers, because sometimes we might not be able to see and adjust, and we just want to trust that our camera is doing what it is that we're telling it to do, because we have manually told it to do what we need it to do. Yeah, I think that might be it. I know one of my lights went out, but whatever. Anyways, YouTube, it has been a pleasure. It is always my pleasure to assist in any way possible. Again, stick around to end this video. I would love to get y'all feedback and y'all thoughts on just a little thing that I shot. And if you have something to show me, let me know. Tag me, mention me, send it to me. Whatever the case may be, share your greatness with me. I am eager to see it. Yeah, is there anything else? I don't think there was anything else. Was there anything else? I don't think there was anything else that I needed to cover. But also, I'm not perfect, so I missed a whole bunch of stuff. If y'all got some tips and tricks for me, let me know. Like, help me be better so I can help y'all be better, so we can all be better. And we can do this thing together. But again, YouTube, family, community, loved ones, thank you. Have a good night. Yeah.